So what is the best way to cook steak? Well, that depends on who you ask, but today I'm going to let you in on my favourite way to cook a mean steak and the reason why I prefer it. Also, make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share an amazing yet really simple way to make even cheap and slightly tough steak more tasty and tender. Hi, I'm Sue and I'm on a mission to share the benefits of a carnivore diet, plus what I'm learning on my carnivore journey. That includes challenges I've had when starting out, including some stuff that most people don't like to talk about. So let's talk about steak. It's my favourite, especially Scotch fillet. Oh my God, that's ribeye in some other countries. I also love sirloin and rump. We eat a lot of sirloin and rump because they're a bit cheaper and they can be a bit unpredictable though in their tenderness. And cooking them can be a bit of an art, especially with rump steak. When we first started on the carnivore diet, our biggest pain that we found was the cleanup. Cooking lots of meat and eggs on the stovetop means lots of fat splashing all over the place, all over the backsplash and everything, and it was every day, sometimes several times a day. That's a lot of cleaning. So although I love cooking on cast iron frying pan, it does cook a great steak. I went looking for another less messy way. Now, cast iron is the favourite for a lot of carnivores, and rightly so. It's common for us carnivores to kind of become meat connoisseurs, and the cooking of steak is a thing. So the truth is that a good cast iron frying pan, when it's seasoned properly, will just outperform any of the toxic Teflon or non-stick junk that is so common these days. It's always handy to have a good cast iron pan in your kitchen. We have a small one that we use mostly for eggs. It's amazing. And a good barbecue or grill is also a must for cooking great steak outdoors. When the weather is warm or when you've got visitors, being able to cook steak outside is an absolute bonus. But for the day-to-day cooking of steak and most other things for that matter, after doing a bit of research, we opted for a Ninja Foodi 11-in-1 and we cook our steak using the air crisp setting. That's just a posh sounding air fry setting. I can tell you that we don't like our steak mooing, but we don't like it super dead either. So cooking the steak in the Ninja is quick and we find it easy to get a scrumptious caramelization on the outside without overcooking the center for our tastes anyway. All we do is we salt the steak and then we put it in the Ninja on the cook and crisp plate. We press air crisp and we leave it on the auto settings most of the time, which is 190 degrees Celsius and 20 minutes. Or if the steak's a bit thinner, we'll cook it for less time. We usually buy our steak in bulk and we cut it ourselves. We like it thick, so we cut it about that thick. And we generally turn the steak after about 10 minutes, unless we forget. It's actually a good idea to set the time for 10 minutes, so you've got to go back and turn it when it beeps. And then set it for another 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how cooked it is and how cooked you want it. So sometimes we'll add some butter or some tallow on top of the steak as it's cooking in the Ninja, which makes it taste even better. We actually use our Ninja Foodi every day, at least once, and often more than once, to cook everything from steak to meatballs and burger patties, chicken legs and chicken nibbles, whole chickens, roasts, and more. I'll put a link to the model of Ninja Foodi that we have below because there's a few different ones. Ours also slow cooks and pressure cooks, and it makes yogurt and sous vide, so we use it for casseroles and that sort of thing. It has 11 functions. It's a bloody brilliant machine that we'd be lost without these days, and it makes clean up a breeze. So that's how we cook our steak in a nutshell, or actually in a Ninja. That's our Ninja over there, you can see behind me. But I promised a tip to make your steak more tasty and tender. Well, that's a little technique called dry brining. And we do this quite a lot now after I came across it on Twitter. It's really simple. So you just need a rack of some sort to put in the fridge that you can put meat on, and that will allow airflow underneath it. So get your steak. You can also do this with lamb chops or even roasts, and you salt both sides. So use a good quality salt like Redmond's or Celtic sea salt, which is my favourite. Don't use the nasty iodized stuff. And use about as much salt as you would if you were cooking it. It's hard to explain how much that is, but practice makes perfect. And once you've done it a few times, you'll have it sussed. So it's really common to actually use too much salt to start with. So just salt it to taste. Once salted, then place the meat on the rack in the fridge and leave it for 24 to 48 hours. Some people actually leave it a lot longer, up to a couple of weeks or even more. What happens is that the salt dries the outside of the meat and it seals in the flavour and the moisture. This can make even cheap or tough steak more tender, and it definitely makes it more tasty. So that's it. It's really simple. Give it a go and come back and let me know what you think. Have you ever tried dry brining? Do you have a ninja foodie? Let me know in the comments below what you think and what your favourite way is to cook steak. And don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe. I thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy cooking.